Hello. So today I want to share a message that came through from my guides around the subject of money. And if you're anything like me, or if you can relate, that is definitely a subject that I have been challenged by lately. This message was definitely, it resonated for me, and I felt called to share it. So if you happened across this video, this message is for you too. I did a meditation session where I channeled the message. So I have my notes here with me. So if you see me looking down, I'm just referring to my notes. But I'm going to go ahead and jump right in and hopefully find this helpful. It made me feel a little bit better. Um, what they started to talk about for me was that the energy around money is actually changing. Like the same way that with the shift that we're currently going through here on Earth, um, our energy is changing as humans at a cellular level. It's like the same thing is happening with the energy of money, which after all is just, it is just an energy. So it's experiencing major shifts just like we are. And at the same time that the actual energy of money itself is changing, our consciousness around money is shifting as well. So as we like upgrade, um, so is money. It's like we're all upgrading, all the energies are upgrading. So this is like overall just a huge positive shift, which is super exciting. And what I was seeing as I was channeling the message, what they were showing me was like the energy of money almost looked like a DNA strand or a double helix. Is that what it's called? And it was kind of like in this iridescent golden bubble, and it was like um, rotating around inside and morphing a little bit. It was really beautiful looking. And what it felt like with the energy of that image was there's almost like this unlocking of abundance. Like the old programs and old paradigms around ourselves and our beliefs, and the energy around money, we're keeping it and abundance itself kind of locked away from us, and making it harder to access. And with the energetic upgrades that are happening, and have been happening for quite a while now, it's like this cage that money had been contained in is disintegrating. It can't hold um, money or cut it off from us anymore. Um, so it's like the birdcage door has popped open and the bird is like flying free, which is just a super exciting and like also expansive feeling energy. And I was going to say that this is meant to be a message of hope, but my guides, they stopped me and they were like, no, no, no. This is a message of understanding. So you're not operating or interacting in the same paradigm, and you need to understand that because from where you're standing, you look around. And when I say you, I mean me too, like we, but I'm kind of channeling this as if, you know, how the guides were speaking it to me. So if I mess up tenses, bear with me. Um, but from where we're standing, we look around and the external hasn't caught up yet. So, we trust our eyes and we think nothing's changed. I still have to pay the same bills. I'm still, struggling to make ends meet. I'm, et cetera, et cetera. And you look around and it's chaotic and it doesn't seem like anything has changed as far as money being freer. But part of the external shifting, to reflect the change that I'm talking about, the energetic change, is your understanding that it has indeed shifted, is what they were saying. It's kind of like one precedes the other. Like, um, it's kind of this idea of like you have to have the faith and the belief in the fact that it has changed and things have shifted. So money is moving differently, and you are moving differently. We are moving differently. And this will become more and more evident as you trust in that as a truth. And the cage and the confines around money, which was constructed both of like the energetics of the societal paradigms that we've been living under, and also the thought programs that have been ingrained in us, they have fallen away, and money is much more free to flow where it's attracted, kind of like a moth to a flame. And it likes easy, soft, flowy, trusting vibrations. Um, it's like stretching its wings. And as you lean in to shifting your beliefs around this and your understanding of this shift and that it has happened, you'll begin to experience and see evidence of this new freedom and flow. And you may have even like already seen hints of this, like finding coins on the ground lately, which is funny. Like just the other day, I was on a walk and I found $2 just in the road, which kind of was crazy to me. So I have definitely noticed it. But it'll just be like little things like surprise discounts. Like you went to go buy something that you thought was one price and it turned out, oh, this is 10% off actually. You didn't even realize it had been marked down, or little things like that. Um, but start noticing them and understanding that it is evidence of this shift in the energy of money itself and the way that it's flowing. And as you notice that, the evidence, um, it'll start increasing, and like you'll start getting bigger evidence, and it'll start happening more often. So they were saying like make a game of it. Like you can say, hey universe, or even talk to money itself, hey money, show me evidence of this newfound like freedom of flow, and then look for, pennies from heaven, so to speak. Look for coins as you're walking around. Look for those little hints and clues, and it'll let the evidence stack up, and show you that this really is shifting. And the other thing they were saying too is when you need to spend, which, that can be challenging, feeling like, oh, I have to pay this bill, or where's the rent going to come from this month? What am I going to do? How am I going to, put that together? How am I going to make ends meet? When you need to spend, try to imagine that you are just connecting with the energy of money and participating in the flow, rather than thinking of it as, oh, I have to pay this bill and, I'm flushing that money down the toilet and never going to see that again. Or try to imagine that you're almost kind of like inserting your money into this flowing river that's kind of coming back around, and it's this infinite flow. It's a never-ending ebb and flow was how they were referring to it. So when you're circulating money, maybe is a good way to think of it. When you're paying a bill, I'm circulating some money into the ebb and flow. It is an ebb and flow, and it's gonna flow back your way, rather than thinking of it as like a finite loss, is how they were phrasing it. They were also saying, we understand that it can be extremely challenging there in your human experience to shift long held beliefs. And this is why we're encouraging you to make it a game and look for the evidence to help bit by bit reshape your understanding of how this energy of money is interacting with you now. They also said, which made me feel better. So hopefully it makes you feel better that you're not wrong or bad for struggling with feelings of lack or scarcity. There was a very real energetic stranglehold, is how they phrased it, present there in your paradigm. But understand that this has been lifted. Things are no longer what they once were, and the old constraints no longer apply. So open to the flow, open to the shifts, be willing to accept that this is true and look for the evidence that it is so. And you'll find it, you'll find evidence. Be willing to let go of the old struggle now, even before you experience this new energy. You have to open to the shift fully to let it in. And one thing they shared that might be helpful also when you do find yourself in that thought mode, like I was saying earlier, like if you have to go to pay a bill and those worries start stacking up, like, how am I gonna make ends meet this month? Oh my gosh, it's another bill that's increased. Where am I gonna find the money for this? How am I gonna make more money? Da da da. And it starts going on that cycle. They gave, I guess you could call it like an affirmation that might be helpful. You can like stop the wheel spinning by saying this and kind of reset your energy. I am an abundant being who is connected to infinite source and supply. Everything I need comes to me in the perfect way and time. And really try to feel into the energy of that and trust that the solution will present itself. Once you stop the spinning mind and like sit back into stillness and lean into the trust that money really is flowing freely and I am connected, I trust that the solution, if I get calm and quiet and allow the space for it, will come. And I will be shown, or the resources will show up in my experience, like really trusting. They said this referring to like this shift with money and learning kind of the new way to interact with money's energy, given our changes in our own energy and the changes with money. That whole experience and shift is just another leg in this journey of surrender, which I know can be kind of like, ugh, here we go, another lesson. But that's really what it's about, is surrendering and trusting. And their final kind of message in there too was like, you are deeply held and you are deeply provided for. So I hope that's helpful to hear too. Like, but things have really shifted, things have changed. And if you get quiet and feel into money rather than just kind of leaning into the worry loops and the, you know, fight or flight survivor mode energy, if you actually lean in to the energy around money, you can feel the change. And that's something that's been really helpful and important for me too, because like I said, this is something that's been a challenge for me, just that struggle of knowing that things are shifting and being on that path to like a higher vibrational experience, but also still having to exist in this external paradigm as it still is now, where I still have to pay the bills. I still, groceries are expensive. And being able to just feel into the energy and feel and see the shift for myself has really helped. So that was my goal in sharing this message that came through to me for my guides around money, sharing it to anybody else that would find this like helpful and maybe help kind of shift how you're feeling and thinking about money too. And then I think it's been really helpful for me to have that affirmation. I've also been using it just when I get up in the morning. It's the first thing I say to myself, like, I am an abundant being who is connected to infinite source and supply. Everything I need comes to me in the perfect way and timing. Starting out my day with that intention has been really helpful. So I hope that can help you if you happened across this and you stay till the end. I hope you found it helpful, and I'm sending lots of love, lots of support. We're in this together. And until next time, lots of love. Bye.